It will come as no surprise to you to know that Davy Crockett is dead. Considering he was born in 1786, it would be incredibly surprising if he were still alive, but the question of exactly how he died is still a matter of intense debate, which should be no surprise. After all, the details of his life are a matter of some debate as well, because while Crockett is known as America's most famous frontiersman, he was also very good at self-promotion. Here's what we do know. As has been portrayed in pop culture, Crockett really did grow up on what was then the American frontier. He even learned to shoot and hunt at a young age, but despite the famous Disney theme song, he was 8, so he probably didn't kill him a bar when he was only 3. Crockett served in the militia during the War of 1812, rising to the rank of 4th Sergeant. He then tried his hand at farming and at business, but when those weren't successful, he decided to fail upwards by becoming a politician. He was elected to Tennessee's House of Representatives, ran for the United States Congress, and lost in 1825, but the next year was elected. He famously stood up in Congress for the rights of Native Americans, but was unsuccessful in his efforts, and in 1835, he left Congress for good. Part of Crockett's appeal was his seemingly natural ability to tell a story and a joke, often at the expense of his political opponents. It's an aspect of his personality that's been picked up by nearly every TV show or movie, whether Fess Parker for Disney, John Wayne's The Alamo, or Billy Bob Thornton's portrayal in another totally different movie, also titled The Alamo. People identified with his folksy charm. He was likable, funny, smart, and verbally adroit. He gave and got good press. He was quotable in the extreme. Crockett was also plagued by money woes most of his life. In his youth, he was moderately successful as a hunter, but less so as a farmer and mill owner. His congressional salary wasn't enough either, apparently, but he realized he could advance his own image and career and pick up a hefty chunk of change if he published his autobiography. It was a hit, and he added to his fame with the publication of Davy Crockett's Almanac. He had become a legend, in part of his own making. After losing his last congressional race in 1835, Crockett, nearing 50 years of age, decided to start over and head for Texas. At the time, Texas was owned by Mexico, but a wave of American settlers was aggressively challenging that rule. Crockett took a group of Tennessee volunteers with him to join the growing insurgents and ended up as part of the garrison of the Alamo, a former mission that had been hastily turned into a military installation outside San Antonio. Depending on who you believe, the garrison numbered anywhere from 185 to 250, and they were facing an army of thousands of Mexican soldiers. The defenders of the garrison were issued an ultimatum: surrender or they would face no mercy. They refused to surrender, and on March 6, 1836, the Mexicans overran the Alamo. Every one of the defenders, including Davy Crockett, was killed in the fighting. Or were they? Though all the soldiers at the Alamo died, not everyone at the Alamo was killed. There were actually some women who were spared by the attacking army, including Susanna Dickinson. Her husband, the Alamo's artillery commander, was killed, and though her accounts of the siege varied widely, she consistently reported that Crockett was also among those killed in the siege. However, not everyone believes this to be the case. Over the last 2 centuries, documents have emerged suggesting that Crockett, as well as a few other fighters, actually survived the battle and were taken prisoner. However, since Mexican commander Santa Anna had promised there would be no mercy, he had Crockett and the prisoners executed. There's really no way to know for sure. According to all accounts, the dead, however they died, were all burned in a giant funeral pyre by the Mexican army, so there's no physical evidence to speak of. Was Crockett killed in action? Was he captured and executed? Did he and some of the other defenders possibly even surrender before meeting their grisly fate? All we have to go on is legend, and that seems perfectly fitting for a man who created his own.